Recorded Books and RB Digital present Warlock Holmes, The Hell-Hound of the Baskervilles by G.S. Denning. Narrated by Robert Garson. The Adventure of the Blackened Beryls. Madam, surrender your poses. I raised my voice and brandished my cane as I said it, as if to proclaim, I am John Watson, a doctor, a man of worth and station. Would you dare to refuse me my desire? Would you? My flower girl opponent was unimpressed. She raised an eyebrow, stuck out a hip and laughed.
I'll surrender more than that, governor.
No, I don't want more than that. I thought I made it especially clear. I want your flowers.
Yeah. Me flowers.
No, well, yes, but from your tone I can tell that we are still discussing two very different transactions. Honestly, I want the actual flowers, those blooms, those posies, those colourful things you are holding in your left hand that grew on the tops of plants. That is what I want. How can I be more clear?
What? These?
She asked, pointing at the battered bouquet. Yes, thank God, yes.
But you just gave me 2 shillings.
I know.
Nobody pays 2 shillings for a handful of dead posies.
I did, or anyway, I'm certainly trying to.
No, didn't you realise what we was talking about?
She asked, pointing at her lap. I never was. This conversation has always regarded actual, real, in no way double entendre-fied flowers. Now hand them over if you please.
No.
Why the hell not? I howled. A few heads turned. I drew forth my handkerchief, wiped some of the frustration sweat from my brow, and tried again. I apologise for my language, madam, but why not?
Constables will rub me off if they sees me with no flowers. How can I be a flower girl if I ain't holding flowers?
How can you be a flower girl if you refuse to sell flowers? For an instant it looked as if I were to have a particularly saucy answer to that. But her eye caught a flash of blue and she hissed,
Oh, bollocks! It's for coppers.
By the time the constable had reached us, every trace of annoyance was gone from her tone, replaced by sappy, sweet coquettishness. She gave a clumsy curtsy and cooed,
Oh, hello, Tony.
What's all this, then? Constable Tony wanted to know. Constable, I'm trying to purchase flowers from this young lady here. Go, and you just up and admit it to an officer of the law? I shall have to ask both of you to accompany me to the station forthwith. No, please, I'm not propositioning any indecent services. I wish to purchase those flowers right there. How could that be illegal? A look of consternation crossed Constable Tony's face, and he turned to ask my flower girl, What's he talking about, Molly?
I don't know, she shrugged. He says he wants the actual flowers.
What, those? Yes, I cried. But Molly's a prostitute, don't you see? Yes, but I don't care. Those flowers. That is what I want. That is what I paid for. Give them to me. Constable Tony recoiled from me. He scanned me from the top of my head to the tips of my shoes and back again, searching for any clue that would allow him to understand my peculiar fancies. Finally he grunted, Well, you were right sick one, ain't you? Thank heaven for small mercies. There was a florist on the way home from the police station. I think it must have taken me almost an hour to make my case that trying to buy flowers from a flower girl was not
Sample complete. Ready to continue?